What is going on, Colorado Springs, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs Chapter, National Society of Leadership and Success? I am so excited to be here talking to you guys today. My name is Dr. Clarence Lee Jr. Thank you, Olu, for the opportunity to share at this year's induction ceremony here. Oh my goodness. All right, so I got 3 questions. Hopefully, he was able to do a quick little spiel about me, but first, before we get going, I don't know if you guys are able to see my slides in the back. I looked in the video, but hey, if you can see them, great. If not, hey, they're going to be reminders for me, so we're going to keep pressing. But connect with me on social media, Dr. Clarence Lee Jr. on all the social media platforms. If you like what I'm talking about today, if you've seen anything that's exciting, just follow me on social media and we can keep the conversation going there. But in the interest of time, I know we've got 20 to maybe 10 to 20 minutes. I want to go ahead and get into the questions and make sure I can add some value for you guys so we can get going. So the first question is, how do you stay positive in times of adversity? Okay, and this is an amazing question, incredible question. I get this question a ton. I prepared a couple of slides, so I'm going to get some talking points, and I'm going to try to stay on time, about 5 minutes for each. But I want to give you a framework first before I answer the question. I'm going to answer the question in a framework. So the first thing about staying positive is understanding that you have the capacity to own your mindset. Okay, so your mindset is how you think about things, how you view things, what your perspective is from moment to moment. You have that capacity. You have the capacity to own your mindset. And so what I'm going to teach you now, if you're going through adversity, if you find yourself in a tough time, and I found myself there several times. It was a point when I was trying to get into medical school. And, I had been rejected for 3 years. I was at home, staying on my mom's couch, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And that was probably one of the lowest moments in my life. And one of the things that helped me the most were these things that I'm about to teach you right now. This is how I got out of that moment, was able to keep pushing forward. A couple of years later, got accepted into medical school. Now I'm a practicing physician. But you got to understand these core concepts about positivity and understanding your mindset first. And we talk about staying positive, but it's positive for what? Why are you staying positive? What's the point of being positive? Usually positivity is directed toward a goal. So the first thing I would say is, if you have a goal, you need to make sure the goal is worthy. What's your vision? What's that worthy goal? What's a worthy goal for yourself? And so if you find yourself going through adversity, what are you pushing for? What is the thing that you want? What is the goal? And why is it there? And is it a worthy goal? So I talk about worthy goals, meaning, is it something that you is going to enhance the world, better other people, right? Not just, I want to be awesome goal, okay? So once you have a worthy goal, the main thing about staying positive, understanding your why. Now, why do you want the goal? And for me, my why is my family. My why has always been my family. So when I find myself in low moments, I start thinking about, why am I pushing forward? What is the reasoning behind me trying to stay positive and keep moving forward? What's the reason? And for me, it's my family. And so I just added a couple pictures of my family here. This is the most recent one that we took here. But this is my why. So you have to, 1, understand what you're going after, and 2, understand why you want what you want. When you have those things solidified, you got a goal that's going to bring value to other people. You have a why, something that matters a lot to you, something that you have a lot of passion you're passionate about, or that you have a lot of fire behind. You have a goal, you have a why. And so for me, it was, hey, my goal is to become a physician. Why do I want to become a physician? Because I want to add value to my family. I want to advance my family, create a lifestyle for my family. But and then once you have those in place, right? You have your what you want, you have your why you want it, then how you stay positive is to wake up to purpose every day. So wake up with intention every day to push toward that purpose, right? And you stay positive by doing the things that feed you, okay? And so for me, I like to read in the morning. This is my view in the morning. I have my routine in the morning, and these are the things that I intentionally try to do to stay positive. I always try to bring enthusiasm to whatever I'm doing. So no matter if it's a mundane task or something that's routine, I always try to bring enthusiasm to it. Try to bring some energy to it and not just go through the motions. You intentionally bringing enthusiasm will help you and other people around you, honestly, to be positive. Now, this is probably the biggest X factor, which is why I've left it for last. Positivity is really intertwined, I believe, with your ability to appreciate or your ability to have gratitude towards your current situation. Because in adversity and in times of depression, sometimes we are either focusing on something that has happened already in the past, and we are finding ourselves in a position where we're like, okay, I'm not where I want to be. This isn't what I thought it was going to be like. And we forget about the things that are going right in our life. We forget about the things that are great. We forget about the things that are going well. So if you have a goal that you want to go after, you know why you're doing it. One of the ways to stay positive, I would say the main way, is to cultivate a practice of gratitude into your life. And the way that I do that, so from a practical standpoint, how I do that is when I wake up in the morning and I do my reading, I intentionally ask myself, what am I grateful for today? What is going right in my life today? I know I have these goals. I know I have these things that aren't going great, but what is actually going great? What is awesome about my life right now? If I really wanted to be appreciative or thankful right now, what were those things? What are those things that I could be thankful for? And I remind myself with those. Every day I remind myself, here is what is going right. Here are the things that are great in my life. I know I'm not where I want to be completely, but here are the things that are going great. And so when you have that, then you're able to take that vision that you have in your mind and walk that out every single day. Okay, so that's the answer to my first question. Hopefully you got some value. We're going to move on to the second one, and that is, what piece of advice do you wish someone would have given you when you were a college student? Now, first time I read it, I was like, oh, advice, maybe I will just add one piece of advice, but honestly, I'm gonna share with you guys several pieces of advice, and one of the first things was understanding that I was a trailblazer and that it was going to be difficult for me. I struggled a lot coming through. I was the first person in my family to graduate with a 4-year degree, first person to go to the military, first person to become an officer, first person to play athletics, play sports in college. So I was what you call a trailblazer. And so as a result of that, a lot of things were difficult for me. So I went through a lot of failure. So I wished someone would have shared with me that, hey, have a proper perspective. If you are trying to do something that no one else in your family has done, it is going to be difficult for you. So not in a way where, oh, it's negative or wonk wonk, but a way that you can appreciate the actual challenge that you're trying to conquer, like what you're actually trying to do. If you are setting the pace for someone in your family, if you're setting the pace for your family, or if you're setting the bar for your family, or you're blazing a trail for your family, obviously family is really important to me. If you're the first one out there, then it's going to be tough. Now, that's not to be discouraged. It's just discouraging. That's just for you to understand. So I wish someone had have told me, hey, you're trying to do something no one else has done. You have the capacity to do this. You can do this. Just understand you might run up against some adversity, and that is okay. The key is to keep pressing. The key is to continue to go forward. I wish someone had shared that with me. The second piece is, like this slide says figuring out how, but the next thing is, I wish someone had told me, hey, you being a student in college, your mindset as a student, meaning I'm learning, I'm in a place where I'm a pupil, if you will, and I'm learning from everyone around me. I wish someone had told me in college, set up a lifestyle where you can maintain the mindset of a student no matter where you're at, no matter if you're in school, no matter if you're in class. Maintain a posture of a student so that you're able to learn in every situation. So many of us say, okay, I'm in the class, I'm learning from the professor right now, and then you go out into the world and know it's nothing for me to learn now. And so for me, one of the things that has helped me the most is to maintain the mindset of a student everywhere that I go. No matter where I'm at, no matter who I'm talking to, no matter what their position is, no matter how far along they are compared to me, I can always learn from someone. And so I would encourage you guys to continue the mindset of a student. Make that a lifestyle choice. Have a lifestyle where I am always seeking to learn and always seeking to improve. You know, that advice right there will help you. Oh my goodness, that helped me so much maintaining the mindset of a student. So I wish someone had shared that with me. The third piece here is also, and this is some advice that I heard, but it wasn't a practical. So I want to share it from a practical sense of always doing your best. Many times, I got the advice to just do what needs to be done. Right? So just do what needs to be done. Do what needs to be done to get the A on the test. Study what needs to be studied to get the A on the test. Just do what needs to be done. Now, not necessarily my best. And so I wish someone had have told me in a very practical way, not just do your best like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to tell you, but actually, hey, this is how you walk out doing your best in everything that you do. And here are going to be the benefits of you doing your best. And so for me, the times when I just kind of did the minimal requirements, those were the times when I really missed out on, I didn't take advantage of everything that was actually there. Because I wasn't focusing on doing my best. I was focusing on getting it done, right? So I wish someone had told me in a very practical sense, not in a theory sense, right? Not in a philosophical sense. Oh, we also need to do our best. No, but from an actual practical sense, do your best. Always do your best. Now, your best might not always be A material or B material, or you might not get 100 on the test, but the idea is that you're giving yourself every opportunity, every fighting chance to get the goal that you want. You aren't going to cheat yourself. And so I really, really wish someone had told me from a practical sense, this is actually how you do your best. Give yourself the opportunity to win in every situation. Don't just look at the requirements. Don't just look at the requirements, but look at what's inside of you. Look at your internal requirements for you to say, this is my best. Look at that. Check that before you decide if you've done enough. But do your best. The last thing I would say is what I call the DWYOUHTD formula. Okay? And that is the do what you have to do formula. Okay, and so I share that with students because when I was in college, one of the mistakes I made was comparing myself to other students. Obviously we're on a grading system. What grade did you get? I got this grade. So there's always this kind of comparison going on. But many times I got discouraged when I looked at other people and I looked at how, maybe they captured the material faster than I did. Maybe they only had to read it one time and I had to read it 3 or 4 times. So when I was outside of the do what you have to do formula, I was looking at what other people had to do, not what I had to do, but what other people had to do. And so I would encourage you, I wish someone had shared this with me, figure out what you have to do. I did not figure out what I had to do until I was a post-bac student the year before medical school. All through undergrad, I was looking around, and I didn't have this quite figured out. Before I started medical school, I honed down and I figured out, what did I have to do to master the material? Was that reading it 3 or 4 times, making flashcards, highlighting? And for me, I ended up having to read things 3 or 4 times before I could master them. So that when I was working in my study schedule, I just put in, if there was 100 pages in the chapter, then I just put in and I was going to read 300 pages and then work out how many pages I had to read each day to make sure I got through it 3 times. That's what I had to do. In medical school, my classmate, my roommate, Dr. Littman, he would read it 1 time and boom, he was done. That was it. So if I was busy trying to compare myself with him in medical school, I could have potentially got discouraged in those moments. But I would just encourage you, figure out what you have to do. Do what you have to do. Avoid the comparisons with everyone else. Just do what you have to do your best. Okay, now, so the last question is, why do you think it is important for students to be involved in organizations such as the National Society of Leadership and Success, where they can learn more about communication and leadership skills? And let me tell you what, this is the absolute, this is critical for success in life. And so I got 3 points with this one, but what's circling up, you always achieve better together. And so surrounding yourself with people that have similar goals, people that want to grow, people that are trying to get to the next level, that's going to push you, you're going to push them. The cream is always going to bubble up to the top, and the cream will come together. Okay, so being a part of an organization that focuses on leadership and success, these are the skills that are going to take you in the marketplace, will take you to the next level. So your ability to circle up, your ability to find achievers in your workplace, your ability to contribute, right? And so that's what I'm going to talk about here, these next 2. Your ability to be resourceful and utilize the resources that are available to you. So, being a part of an organization like this, you have a lot of resources available to you. So, and these are resources that are going to enrich you as a person. It's not just material in the classroom. This is enrichment for life. So these skills, these leadership skills, and these conversations around what it takes to be successful. Because once you get the degree is actually the baseline. Once you get into the workplace, that is when you actually start climbing that ladder of actual success. So just to get to the field or get to the court or whatever analogy you want to use is the degree. That is the finishing, the college piece. But the actual success piece, this is the learning that you're doing as a part of this organization. So you always want to utilize your resources. And the last thing I would say is, if you're a part of this group, and one thing I love about this group is when I spoke at Azusa Pacific is, you want to add value to the group as well. So not only are you learning, but you're also contributing, and that is the leadership piece. So you also are valuing your own thoughts. You also are valuing your input and being a leader and stepping out there and putting your ideas out into the world. That is so critical. That is so critical, because if everyone is not at the table playing together, and obviously it's a time to learn, it's a time to speak, there's a time to be quiet, but when you're a part of these organizations, look for opportunities where you can enrich other people, because I will tell you what, this is, if I had to leave you with one last piece of advice on how to be successful in the world, one of my mentors, a retired Air Force Colonel, Colonel Williams, told me, the main way, one of the fastest ways to gain success in the world is to go into a place, if you're in a leadership role or not, and figure out, one, get your core competencies. How do you do your job? How do you master what you need to do? But as soon as you have a grip on your job, you start figuring out how you can make other people's jobs easier that are around you. Add value to other people. Teach what you know. Contribute what you know. That is one of the fastest ways to success. When people understand that if they have you on your team, one, you're going to pull your weight, but two, you're going to add so much value to them. You're going to actually help them. You're going to help them get what they want. You're interested in them. You're not just out for yourself. Oh my goodness. That right there has been one of the biggest things that has helped me move forward. And there's some practical ways you can do that. Then I'll wrap up. One, know your goal, but two, spend some time figuring out who's on your team. Who's at your table right now? Who's going to be in this group with you? Who's going to be in your chapter? Figure out what their goals are, and then use your brain power to figure out how you can help them achieve their goals. Because when you're achieving other people's goals, when you help other people achieve their goals, they're going to be more willing to help you achieve yours. So, oh my gosh, I could go on forever and ever and ever. I know we're nearing 20 minutes here. Let's stay connected. Dr. Clarence Lee Jr., Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the places that you want. I hope I added some value. I'm going to give away I'm going to send a link out to Olu, and I'm going to give away a free book. Okay, so you can just do clarenceleejr.com/free book. I'm going to give away my first book for free to you guys, and I just kind of tell my story, but I just want to do that as a gift to the chapter. You can read a little bit about my story and understand, hey, adversity will come. Hey, sometimes you're going to run against a wall, but the most important thing is that you continue to press and that you're able to persist. All right, guys, God bless, Godspeed. Until next time, keep pressing. Later.